All right,
Cool.
everybody. Hello, welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Albert's List webinar of 2026. You are here for how to build a side hustle with AI in one weekend. My name's Albert. I'm your host today, and Albert's List is hosting this webinar, and we are a job search, side hustle, and AI skills organization helping you become the most resilient professional possible. I'm joined here today by Mohit, who is our presenter. He's also an AI entrepreneur and real estate professional who has found ways to use AI to make extra income in his life. And that's what he's going to talk about in today's presentation. Our webinar today is recorded. We'll follow up with you with a recording. If you have any questions, use the webinar chat or the Q&A. We'll also go ahead and end this poll right now and share with you some of the results of how all of you feel about your AI skills. And a lot of you are novice or somewhat experienced, which is pretty amazing. So we're going to go ahead and put that away here. And Mohit, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. Happy New Year.
Um,
Thank you for kicking our year off. And I'm looking forward to what you have to present today.
Amazing. So my name is Mohit. First of all, thank you guys so much for coming to this webinar. It means a lot to have all 67 guests, and we hope to make this a wonderful presentation. So let's start out with what is scale your skill set. So we'll create the goal is to get inspired to create a side hustle in a weekend. So what will you learn in this webinar? That's a wonderful question. And we'll talk about how is AI impacting the job market, why create a side hustle, what is a repeatable framework about testing different offers, practical AI tools, how to use them, how to build out the skills and market validation for a consulting business, which is my favorite type of business to start, and how to build a lead list as well. So let's talk about who is this webinar for. So if you want to start a side hustle with AI, you have no or little to experience, or if you have, you know, elementary experience with AI, this is perfect for you. And if you are willing to invest your time into learning AI. So AI is, it's not really a hype skill right now, but it's the world is changing as we know it. So we have to be ahead of the curve when it comes to it. So we don't gatekeep. By the end of this webinar, we'll be able to utilize your LinkedIn, figure out a skill that you can sell to people, and then how you can do product research as well. And so don't just take it from me. These are folks that have previously taken this webinar and they've done this exercise. So you could see that, okay, like, we have a few folks that could utilize the skills from this webinar. One is like learning about Claude, analyzing SWOT analysis. We have the best way of generating prompts and building relationships. So you can see that, there is a lot of things. So if you guys add me on LinkedIn, please go ahead and in the message or adding a note, talk about what you're about to learn in this. So the new frontier of AI is upon us. It is changing the way that we work. How many of you guys know what an AI agent is? You guys can write in the chat. Yes, yes, I do. Amazing. Norbert, you know what an AI agent is? AI is changing the way that we view things. And it also leads to a lot of people getting unemployed. And it's if you don't adapt, then you will die. It's similar, it's another new age industrial revolution, but instead of machines taking our jobs, they're taking white collar jobs. They're taking away the knowledge era. And so the nature of work is changing. Here internally at Salesforce, we are selling Agentforce, and that is like AI for everything. So, now the admin tasks of sales are changing. Product management as a function is changing. Customer support is changing. Programming is changing. Everything in this world is changing. So AI agents are only going to get better and they might take your job. Salesforce is selling the agentic enterprise. And the way that I like to view it is it's humans and AI working together. There's going to be a human in the loop. I would never trust a fully autonomous AI agent unless I have specific guardrails around my business. Cool. So AI automation is here and AI is only getting better in every iteration. So you need to keep up with these trends. And on the left-hand side is an example of a Redditor where they automated away their entire job, which is pretty insane. So it's impacting all areas of the business. So it's marketing, finance, operations, HR, sales, product management, even software engineering. So why don't you guys put in the chat what exactly your background is and maybe what do you do for a living as well? I'd love to see you guys. Amazing designer, marketing. Your job as a marketer is actually going to become a lot more streamlined. But it doesn't take it doesn't take I'm not gonna say a genius. It takes a certain eye to understand what the macro of a business is doing. AI can help you decipher graphs and trends, but ultimately it's up to you to make decisions from it. Educator, credit analyst, product management, software developer. Pirate, love to see it. R matey. John Oak, I love to see that you're building AI agents for business. Cool. So doom and gloom, we can't let this be you. We can't be sad. So every disruption brings opportunity, and this is exactly what we're here to talk about. So scaling your skill set, it's how to create a side hustle business in a weekend with AI. So my story is I'm Mohit. I'm an entrepreneur. I grew a company called Looming Media to low seven figures in revenue at the age of 24 years old. I'm a marketer at heart. I've previously bought a portfolio of around $10 million. I currently work in tech sales. I build AI tools. I'm a vibe coder, if you will. I'm an efficient AI aficionado, and I'm here to share some of the blueprints for how to build a side hustle. I'm a big side hustle guy. So just here's my lovable wrapped. You know, I've developed 74,000 lines of code, and I'm in the top 1% of politeness globally. So here are some of the things that I vibe coded recently. And here are earnings for one of my businesses. So I run one of my businesses is a publishing company, and let me show you how much money we made around in the last 12 months. This side hustle made $178,000. And our expenses are around 48,000. So this is around 130,000, 135K. And it's all run entirely with overseas labor. I'm using AI to actually assign my topics for my writers, and I have writers in the Philippines and India that actually will write the articles for me. So that's pretty cool. Let's talk about some of the apps that I vibe coded. So there's this LOI generator. So in real estate, it's really cumbersome to come up with LOIs. So this is an app to help me generate LOIs using a form fill. Another one that I built is this calculator, which helps you understand if you can afford a property or not. And this can be used as a lead magnet for a course, maybe, or for any sort of app or service that you're selling. It is a free calculator, which serves a lot of value, which is true. And so it'll tell you a bunch of stuff. And you can also book a 15-minute call with me as well. And then on that call, you as a consultant can upsell or not, but it serves a great deal of value. This was vibe coded in about 30 minutes. There's also Mohit OS. This is how I run my internal businesses where I have daily tasks that are assigned. I can generate daily insights. My team can check in, so on and so forth. This is one of my experiments called Sales OS Labs, outsourced sales enablement. And I built both these products with vibe coding. So this is a prompt library for salespeople in B2B sales like myself, where they can go ahead and put these prompts. You have like variables. You can put these into Gemini, and it'll help you with accomplishing whatever you need. I've also built this collateral tool, which will help you create collateral ASAP. And so I built all these in a couple weekends. So I know what I'm saying right now through trial and error. And so I wanted to show you this just to show you that there's legitimate results behind this. I'm not selling any sort of dream. I've actually lived it. This is on top of me working a 9 to 5 in software sales. Cool. So why is side hustle? I love side hustles because it's a low risk way to entrepreneurship. The Every millionaire has 7 streams of income, right? That's how it's been said. So a side hustle is my favorite because it diversifies your income source away from your W-2. There's a lot of layoffs right now going on in the world. My employer is also laying people off. A lot of companies are laying people off under the excuse of AI. You're paid at your job to do something. They're paying you for your knowledge. You can turn that expertise into revenue for yourself in case if something ever happens. You can build something that you own 100% of the IP of. And the best part is that for consulting, you can do it in a weekend. And all it really takes is a landing page and a Calendly link as well. So you can hedge against economic uncertainty and you can eventually turn it into a sellable asset. And usually it has low startup costs under $100. Most people tend to overcomplicate their landing pages. So let me show you an example of what Sales OS Labs is. So this is my outsourced sales enablement. This is literally just a landing page that goes to a Calendly link. This is super easy, and the friction of actually starting a business is not that high. So let's talk about the 8 step framework, and let's also talk about how you guys can do it as well. So by the end of this webinar, what you're going to have are a few different ideas of how to start a side business. So your expertise is valuable. The first thing that you guys have to do is identify your strengths. What are some in-demand skills that you guys possess, and what are some industries that need your expertise? And we'll also figure out the opportunities using a SWOT analysis. And then the goal is to leave you guys very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and thinking that you guys can take on the world because you guys probably have a skill set that you guys don't know is of commercial use. And today we will uncover that. And then Elise, how am I driving traffic? I mostly use cold email, if I'm being honest. It's the cheapest way, and you can do it at scale. And within, 30 days, I can understand if something has traction behind it or not. And Erica, what tech stack am I using to build? I use Lovable and ChatGPT right now. I'm experimenting with Claude Code right now, but Lovable is pretty easy and it's a good entryway into programming. And the fact that I was able to build apps on my own without knowing how to program is pretty crazy. Cool. So let's talk about the 8 step roadmap. Now, everyone thinks that their first idea is going to be $1 million idea. And I hate to break it to you, but most likely it's not. I'm completely honest, where it'll take a few iterations. I didn't make $1 million in revenue until we were in business for at least 3 years. So this took some time, and over time, I've developed an 8 step framework. So what the 8 step framework is you have to find out your idea. What are you offering people? Why should people talk to you? Step number 2 is you have to define your ICP. Who is your customer profile? What do they look like? What technology are they buying? What kind of problems do they have? You have to really get into the mind of your customer and understand their pains, their wants. what keeps them up at night, what keeps them working on Friday at 5 p.m. Number three is that you have your market research. You have to find out who else is doing this. Why are they doing it? What keeps you different? How can you succeed in a space that you're looking to enter? If it's super crowded, you have to niche down. You could offer digital marketing. Wonderful. There's so many people that offer digital marketing. Now, in the digital marketing spec, are you going to offer content creation? Are you going to offer the ability to generate Instagram carousels? Are you going to really hone in on Google Ads for home services? You have to really niche down and dominate a small market before you begin to expand. Number four is set up landing pages. So ultimately, that's great. But unless you have a website, most people won't take you seriously if they're under the age of 35. I know that when a company doesn't have a website, I don't really trust them. I don't know about you guys. So once we have the your internet real estate, what we have to do is find our first 5 to 10 customers. I use cold email for it, and then I have a couple of tools that I use. You can find that later on. Number six is in order to get your first customer, you might need to send out 1,000 to 5,000 emails, depending on how receptive your cold email campaigns are and how receptive your ICP is to cold email. But with cold email, you'll get immediate feedback of no, not interested, or hey, not a priority. And then eventually, when you have feedback that counts as data, once you have a lot of data, you can generalize what's going to happen and you can reiterate your messaging based on feedback. Now, the happy path is assume that you have a couple of clients. You have a couple of people that want exactly what you're offering, and then you need to standardize it. You need to document everything. This is called an SOP or standard operating procedure. And then once you've standardized everything, that's when you can scale. That's when you can hire virtual assistants. You can leverage AI. You can use agents. And once you have that, then you have a small business. Congratulations. But not too many people take that. It takes usually a few iterations between step one and step five. Cool. So just a disclaimer, we are selling a course called Scale Your Skill Set. It'll help you get started with entrepreneurship, how to research your market and develop your offer, how to build the email infrastructure and how to test your products, how to scale and measure your success. So, what does success look like? How can you send out cold emails, automate, delegate, and execute, and then how to define your customers and how to get your customers, and ultimately how to build a small business. So I mean, we've kind of talked about the formula. It's what we can offer. And the structure of the 8-step framework is KISS, keep it simple, silly. Because too many people want to overcomplicate what they're offering initially, and they'll spend so much time thinking of what do people want that they never end up getting feedback from people, so they don't really know what they want. So my system is keep it really simple, and then you guys can develop further. Yeah, so Keep It Simple Sally is it's the PG-13 version of Keep It Simple. So let's talk about some of my favorite tools. I have ChatGPT Plus. I used to use Claude. Open Router is one of my favorites because it allows you to send out an API and whatever model is best for the task at hand, it'll leverage that. Gemini 3 is fantastic. We also have Veo. We use Merlin AI once in a while. I like to use Perplexity, Replit, Lovable, Bolt V0, Claude Code, all of these. There's Canva, for your website, you guys can use card.com, you guys can use Namecheap, you guys can use WordPress templates, lovable.dev. And so for your outbound systems, we use cold email inbox rotation, um, domain and inbox registration, AirScale or Clay for lead enrichment. And then for VAs, I talk about how to hire them, how to manage them, what makes a good VA versus a bad VA, and AI bots. So let's talk about the total cost to get started, generally speaking, from what I'm paying. So your lead enrichment tool is going to cost you around 45 bucks per month. Your email sending tool will cost you around $40 per month. Your general AI engine is going to be free, and you can really rotate whatever AI tool you like. Car.co is 20 bucks a month, or alternatively, you guys can build a site using Lovable hosted on Vercel, and Vercel hosting is free. And then Lovable and Bolts, they're in Replit, they're free to get started, but they do have paid plans. Just wanted to give you a little bit of transparency. So here it's about, like 100-ish, maybe less bucks per month. So it's a slight cost, but you guys can also make a couple grand per month if you guys use it. The key is testing. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes for it. Who's excited to actually see what kind of skills they have? Cool. So who's excited? I need a little bit more enthusiasm. I feel like I'm talking to a pretty quiet room. Yes. Amazing. Amazing. So, Krishnanand, so you can either drive traffic via ads or via cold email. Or you could, be a very big reply guy on Twitter and generate some buzz for your app. But generally speaking, what I find is that you need to either go outbound, which is a little bit tougher, it's a little bit more intimidating, or you can spend money on ads. And ads are fairly expensive in today's day and age. And also with ads, it needs a specific skill set, and cold email is just tends to be a lot easier. So Norbert, the way that I like to I'm actually salesoslabs.com. This is a new landing page that I put together. I started December 26th or 27th. I've gone to my personal network, gotten some feedback. And the way that I like to offer it is have a service first where you understand the problems and you still get paid. And then eventually then you can develop a software or you can develop a productized service where you can actually make a little bit of money. I like to go B2B because businesses tend to be a little bit more, you know, logical when it comes to a capital expenditure like training or an outsourced service. Web hosting, you can use Namecheap, you can use Vercel, there's a lot of different things. So if anyone has any trouble with following along what we're doing, go to scaleyourskillset.xyz. And this is basically a website that I created to have all of the prompts and it has step-by-step instructions. So I made this just so that you guys can follow along and here is the website as well. This will cover exactly what exactly we're doing. So the first step in what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into ChatGPT and go into LinkedIn to get our resume. Let's go there. So follow along where we'll type in linkedin.com. And this is my LinkedIn. Amazing. We have 11 people that have connected. Guys, those are rookie numbers. You guys should do more. Next up, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, click into our profile. Is everyone here? Cool. So we'll go into resources and then we'll go into save to PDF. And if you save to PDF, it'll have a profile. And then if you click on it, this will be a summary in PDF of your LinkedIn page. The reason why your LinkedIn page is very important is because it's your digital resume, assuming that you have really quote pimped it out as I have. So is everyone with me? Does anyone have any issues right now with where we are? All good. Cool. All good. Does everyone have access to scale your skill set.xyz? Cool. Amazing. I'm so glad that we did this. So it's scale your, yeah. So if we go into LinkedIn, you'll want to click on your profile. So under me, view profile, and then under the resource button, you'll want to click save to PDF. So once you have your PDF, then what we'll go ahead and do is go to chatgpt.com. So you guys can use whatever tool you guys want. I like to use ChatGPT. You guys can use Gemini. You guys can use Claude. Anything that you guys want. Is everyone with us? Cool. I'll give it about a minute more just so that everyone can download their PDF and then go to their AI tool of choice. So at 7:33, we will make we'll start. How does everyone feel so far? Is everyone excited? Does everyone feel inspired? Chat's awfully quiet. Albert, I feel like in previous webinars we've had more digital and engagement. Is it just me? I feel like I'm talking to myself.
You can see the webinar chat, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right, if
It's
everybody can hear it, just say something.
overwhelmed. All right, Taylor, I love it. Let's do some AI. Great. 7:33. Let's go ahead. So in your chat AI instance of choice, I'm going to go ahead and attach the this is my LinkedIn profile as a CSV. And then I'm going to go ahead to scale your skill set.xyz. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this prompt. So what the prompt basically says is look at my LinkedIn profile, generate 20 specific side hustle ideas that align with this person's experience, skill, and professional background. And for each idea, include the target customer profile. What exactly are we solving? How can we, well, like, what kind of deliverables does success mean? Give me a couple of ideas for pricing and 3 bullet points for why I'm qualified. And then we'll perform a SWOT analysis as well. So we'll go ahead. I've copied it. I'll go ahead and paste it. Now, let's click enter and let's see what this robot has to say. It's called scale your skill set. How do you differentiate your, wait, no, .xyz, excuse me. So how do you differentiate your side hustle? You have to niche down. Like none of my businesses are in very, like if they're in very I don't want to say saturated, but everyone's got their own individual unique touch and you only need a few customers to really pay you, like $500, $1,000. Every single one of those customers, you only need one, two, or three in the entire world, and it's all digital. There's so many people that use the internet. There's 300 million people within the United States, and there's so many small businesses. So you guys can definitely stick out. So let's talk about what the prompt actually returned. So just as a high level, we'd ask, this is the brainstorming, the brainstorming part. So if we go back to our 8-step process, what we're doing is we're currently like doing 1 and 2 in a mix of number 3. So we're trying to find an idea and maybe who might be a great customer for it. So let's go to ChatGPT and each one of the AI tools is going to have something a little bit different, but the output should generally be the same. So once again, these results are just reserved to me, but I am also curious for what your results are as well. So go ahead and, just put into chat. I'm just kind of curious what some of the different ideas are. The general themes are, just software sales, real estate building, and underwriting, audience building and monetization, go-to-market strategy for startups, outbound partnerships in media, public speaking, and sales enablement. So these are interesting. And then it kind of comes up with a couple of themes as well, at least this chat GPT instance. Fractional program management for post-merger integrations. This could be interesting, Chris, because there's a lot of companies right now that are acquiring other companies. The M&A market is pretty hot right now, at least in the private sector. So you can, offer your services as a consultant. It's very niche. I love that. The Brian, investment architecture reference models, IP product. That's amazing. Igor, computer vision and AI image recognition. That's very interesting. Fractional head of support. That's that's insane because as startups are getting leaner in today's day and age, they want to leverage AI and they want to have fewer employees. They're hiring more contractors. So let's go back to what exactly, let's take an example of what an output is from this. So I have my target customer for fractional sales advisor for real estate tech startups. This is very similar to Sales OS Labs. And so the deliverables would be an ICP and messaging, deal review and pipeline teardown, and a sales playbook. It gives you suggested pricing. The pricing I would take with a grain of salt because until you ask customers like what they feel and how they react to this, then it's just this gut instinct. And then it'll say why you're qualified and what the SWOT analysis looks like. So SWOT, if you guys don't know, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So how does everyone feel about their results from this particular chat? Give it like a scale of 1 through 10, but you can't pick 7. 9. Amazing. Michael, if you go to scaleyourskillset.xyz, the first prompt will be there. Go to scaleyourskillset.xyz, and then you guys can find the prompts. 8 or a 9. So you guys are really confident with this. Cool. Now, if you guys choose an 8 or above, I don't see any reason why you guys shouldn't launch your own side hustle. Cool. So we have a few ideas of what this looks like. So you can see, fractional head of partnerships. Amazing. And this gives us an amazing idea of, we have 20 different ideas. We have 14, we have 17, 20. So this gives us a lot of different ideas. And then it also tells us what are the top 5 that we should do. And they tell us why should we do it. So the next skill set or the next prompt, I like to rank these because we have 20 ideas, 20 curated ideas, which, ChatGPT, Gemini, they'll suggest a bunch of ideas, but how many of them are the best ones for you? ChatGPT gave us a brief 5 level thing, a top 5. However, I don't necessarily agree with that. I want to understand how can I set it up? What's the ease of profitability? What's the scalability? What's the barrier to entry? And how well does it align with my skill set? So for those of you guys that don't know, it's prompt number 2 for the strategic filter. So we have 20 ideas, and now the goal is what applies to us. So John, the best idea, it depends on how you frame it. We're using ChatGPT to help understand what our skill sets are and how we can best align an idea to it. So ChatGPT has optimized for a weekend launch realism. So in in 48 hours, the goal is to output a landing page and then a cold email campaign. And so for me, it's a fractional sales advisor, Salesforce ROI consulting, deal review, and SaaS go-to-market playbooks. And it gives you a little table. So it'll have all of these laid out with a super score of, it could be anywhere from 10 to 25. And then it'll talk about what are the best three and why. So for me, Salesforce ROI and business case consulting, it aligns allegedly 22 to 25. So it'll tell me why it's really good, why it aligns with my skill set, and why it's perfect for a weekend. The whole point of a side hustle is it needs to be very easy to set up. Consulting is super easy. So we've gone through two prompts so far. How does everyone feel? Just a little temperature. 8, or are we at 6 or lower? Still 8. Wonderful. How can you get to the point where you just pull the trigger? Honestly, it's a bit of reiteration. People think that AI is going to be able to do everything, but it's still a business. You guys still need to put in a little bit of work, whether it's outreach, whether it is, setting up landing pages. AI can help you set up most of it, but you still need to show up for sales calls. Uh, Elise, if you go to scaleyourskillset.xyz, then all the prompts are there and it'll give you instructions as well. When do sales calls come into play? If you're selling something high package or high ticket, then you're going to have a sales call. If you're selling something that's pretty, high volume, low ticket price, then you're going to be sending traffic to a landing page and do all that. Since I personally optimize for sales calls because I'm in software sales, I tend to like higher ticket items where I can close fewer people and just have, one or two like yeses on a call instead of having 100. So the point of this, just to recap, was to come up with their top three. So fractional sales advisors, sales demo, rewrite and storytelling, and different honorable mentions. So what we'll go ahead and do next is that we have another prompt to reiterate and really filter that in. So once we've chosen our top three, it is time for us to really understand who our competition is. So sometimes you may use deep research, or I just use regular ChatGPT. So I'm going to go ahead and copy in this prompt. Excuse me. So for each of my top three side hustle ideas, conduct a deep competitor analysis. And we also want to understand the top three, and we want to provide, what they offer, what their value props are, how does the market view them? Are they a premier product? Are they a budget product? Are they in the middle? Who are their customer segments? What are the strengths that they have that give them an advantage? And what are the opportunities in that market? And what does the pricing or business model look like? And how can I survive as a small little fish? People in the comments earlier had mentioned, how do I stand out? Well, don't worry. AI will tell us. So MJ, you can use AI for automation right now, like in my sales job. I have used AI to do a lot of prospecting for me. So, for example, I'll upload my target list of, businesses. So I'll have 20 or 30 businesses that I'm trying to prospect. And then it'll give me the prompt will say, hey, please take a look at any public, any recent product launches, any leadership changes, any press or news. And that's kind of how I prioritize who to reach out for. But you can't always trust AI. Yes and no. I will always say that I will use AI as a starting point, but I will always double check. But I'm starting to trust it a lot more. Cool. So this is what the number three prompt had given to us. So we've done a deep competitor analysis for Salesforce ROI and business case consulting. Two is that we've done a SaaS demo, rewrite and demo storytelling. So really like we're helping SaaS companies reiterate their demos and help provide like real storytelling. And three is fractional sales advisors. So it'll tell us who exactly is playing in our market. And the goal for this is not to get discouraged, but it's to really understand who are we playing against. A side hustle is wonderful, but you have to know who are you competing against because if you have a deep industry expertise, they'll be so intimidated by you. If you know a little bit because you see easy money, it's probably not going to be the best fit for you. Brudgewell, I would recommend AI because I don't know what you like. And, the whole point of this exercise is to understand what side hustles are best for you. No thanks. I agree. Buy Bitcoin. I have some Bitcoin. So here we have several different ideas and competition. And what exactly do most competitors do? And how we can separate ourselves. So in this Salesforce offer, it's like, okay, we'll get a 48-hour ROI in business case sprint. So we can have several different things. We can do install base specialization. So we only work with existing customers. We can deliver a design package, anything like that. These are different angles that you guys can take on the same type of business. This way you can find your niche and really dominate it as well. Does everyone see themselves kind of utilizing this kind of these prompts? Can they see themselves starting a business using the prompts that we're sharing today? Cool. Thank you. So you guys, this is once again a starting point. The whole point of this exercise is to inspire you guys to see what kind of skills you guys have. How can you guys develop a market advantage for it to come up with a top three list and to really do some due diligence. And Kevin, thank you for posting your school link. However, we please don't solicit within our webinar, please. Thank you. Cool. Number four is the lean validation. So once we have an idea, we should go ahead and actually figure out what does success mean to us. So any Tom, Dick, or Harry can launch a side hustle, but no one really knows what does success actually look like. It is great. We have 10 million ideas. How do we validate it? Most people that want to start a business they don't know what does success look like. Everyone just wants to plug in a machine to the internet. They want to press a button and they want magic money to come out. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit more work. So I'll go ahead and post prompt number four. As a reminder, number four is available on scaleyourskillset.xyz. When we get AGI, we will be able to do that. Let's see when AGI comes out. So we have the top three ideas, and we'll have what success metrics look like and what a launch strategy looks like. So the whole point is to go from 0 to 1 in a weekend using AI. And you're able to do that. You can have a landing page easily done. You guys can create a Calendly, and then you guys can send a Stripe link as well to collect payment. It's building a business has never been easier. So in this case, I have Salesforce ROI Consulting, and we have a 30-day launch strategy. We have a risk assessment and mitigation, and we have success metrics as well. So we've done about four. We have a number five, but do we have any questions so far? Is anyone stuck? Does anyone have any comments? I would love to get your feedback because so far, it's been a little quiet, but you know, let's open up the floor for some questions. We'll do two or three and we'll complete the presentation and then we can have some questions after. You can use your resume if you're not on LinkedIn. Cool. So with number five, you guys can if it's not your resume, Tommy, you can also go ahead and just add in a little bit more context. Shill, you don't need to pay GPT, but you might have some limited answers or not answers, but you might have to use like the amount of usage that you get out of these paid tools is a lot higher than the free tiers. Do I use any agents for cold email enhancement? I use ChatGPT and I do some exercises asking what my ICP is, what do they care about, how long do I want my email sequence to be, and then um Mosin, what input you guys can also use your LinkedIn. You guys can also add context. The reason why we use LinkedIn is because it's just a good starting point. Lead enrichment, it means getting contact data. So the whole point of this is to give you guys some inspiration. Now, once we've done this, so I've would you guys say that you guys have gotten some value out of this? Comment yes if you think that you've gotten some value. Amazing. So I'm glad that everyone's gotten at least a little bit of value from this because at the end of the day, what we've gotten here so far is ideas. The point is for you guys to go from 0 to 1. And you guys have planted a seed, which is an idea. Now we do have a course called Scale Your Skill Set. I'll let Albert do all of the all of the technicals at the end. Um, And I wanted to end this with a few testimonials that we have. So the best investment that you guys can make is in yourselves. Now, I want to acknowledge that you guys are doing a wonderful job in investing in yourself by coming to this webinar. I just want to say thank you so much for that. To share this with 88 people is insane. It's amazing. Pete Zimmer, he was a product manager and a business analyst, and he's a data whiz. He was looking to retire from his job in oil and gas, so he joined our course, and he said that it's very instructional, it's super easy to create landing pages, generate leads, how to create context, and it's very helpful that I'm using my own businesses too. Here's Wafa, and here's what she gained. Wafa part two. And for the price, Albert, do you want to kick things off?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share the link to our course here that we're promoting today. So scale your skill set, how to build a side hustle with AI in one weekend. You're going to get everything that Mohit just taught you here in our in this webinar for just $79 today. And so there's a bunch of things that Mohit has put together. 6 hour long videos to help you get started, 7 presentation decks, 14 demonstration videos of tools that you're going to use, and 3 bonus videos on how you can get online and get started really quickly. And the best part of this as well is if you buy into this course today, you're also going to get any updates that Mohit
Yeah.
has sent. And so he has actually been sending me videos. I was on vacation flying around the world over the last couple of weeks, and here was Mohit sending me all these various recordings of what he wanted me to put into this course. And I'm like, hey man, wait a minute, I'm nowhere near a reliable internet connection. And so Mohit was absolutely thinking about all of you during this during this during the holiday season.
Yeah,
Uh,
and this is my most recent offering. So like I'm practicing what I preach. I do launch new offers all the time just to see what sticks. So
yeah,
I do practice what I preach. This is also an example of like I'm not this is money. Th- This is $27,000 in a single month. That's insane. $30,000.
wild.
So so I mean, this is just income that not all of America actually dreams of. And I'm doing this on top of my current day job as well. So, you know, it's nice to see everything. I am actively vibe coding as well. Here is one of my apps. This is a dashboard that I have for my internal team. So I have all of my projects, I have my goals. It leverages AI. So I practice what I preach, and at some point, you guys can eventually, have something hopefully that makes you 150, 200K per year, and you guys can be financially free.
Yep.
I don't like to send cold email. That is what is suggested. Look, you'll either have to get mega viral on one of the social medias, which is really hard. Two, you can send cold email. It's low cost, reasonably for what it is, and you can reach a lot of people. Three is you can spend ads. Have you ever run a Facebook ad? Do you know how expensive it is for one customer acquisition? So the reason why I do cold email is because it is very cost effective and you can get instant feedback.
So yeah, so the course is here. Antonia asks, um, is there any sort of support outside the course?
You guys can feel free to email me. I should respond. And then Igor, it really depends. Like it depends. uh, The average cost for a customer acquisition on Facebook ads, there's consultants that get paid millions of dollars to answer that question. I can't really answer that. I have friends that will spend $10 million to market their product, and then they'll find out what their customer acquisition cost is. The whole point of marketing is to tweak so you can reduce your customer acquisition cost. So for all of the guys that have specific questions about the products, the processes, buy the course. That's why I created it. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like it's all there. I walk through it with you guys, and it's pretty no nonsense. I don't like to waste time. Cool. I'll stay on for another few minutes to answer questions. And yeah, I hope on a scale of 1 to 10, can't pick seven, how would you guys rate this webinar?
Excellent.
9. How likely would you guys be to refer your friends to it?
And does anyone have a clearer idea of how they can be successful with AI this year? In particular, those of you who may have come in here today not having touched AI at all. Excellent. Cool.
And then this deck should be available after, I believe, right, Albert?
Yeah, yeah. So send over the deck link to me and we can share it.
Yeah.
Here's the course. Does everyone feel more confident? How's everybody feeling? Has Mohit shared with you enough for you to feel confident that you can start your next side hustle using AI and your expertise today? All right, seven, eights, nines. Good work. Good work. You need to reflect more, Norbert. Okay, got a
Why?
bunch of interesting ideas. A good start since I have no idea of how to go with my career switch. Yeah, the thing is, I was just thinking is that, you've all gained skills throughout years and years of experience with your jobs and so forth. And so you
Get paid for
have
it.
a ton
Get
of
paid for it.
experience.
You just
Yeah.
don't know. I would also say that the more time that lapses between this webinar and actually taking action, the less likely you'll get to actually make some money from it.
Yeah.
Time kills all deals, including business ideas. So my recommendation is to buy the course, take action on it, and you guys can do. I created Sales OS Labs in one weekend. I created this calculator. I created this calculator, the LOI generator, and Sales OS Labs in one weekend.
Yeah.
So it's very doable. And
I
the
created an event promotion app that Mohit got to see as well in maybe like 45 minutes that I ran off of Replit. And so, right, like if you know what your even if you don't go with your expertise, one way to do this is to build via your utilities. So, like if there's an area in your life where you find that there's a sort of like a clog, right? Mine is promoting all these webinars that I have all the time. I want something to help me promote those webinars faster and write copy for me. And so the V1 of this is to basically create that copy. Um, yeah,
Naveen, can you give us a peek
a
of
peek of what are we peeking at here? The
what?
course? Are we peeking at something else?
If I gave you guys a, oh, yeah, here. Wait, mine or Albert's app? Oh,
Oh, my app. Okay.
but I mean, basically, like the goal for this is just dip your toe into entrepreneurship. The the misconception is that it needs to be very complicated. You guys need to have, all your systems in. I'm here to dispel that. All you really need is a landing page, a Calendly app, and a way to send invoices. And
Yeah.
we can cover all of that. And the course is always being updated as well.
Yeah. So here's the app that I had. It's called an event prompter.
Cool.
And
We're a few minutes over.
yeah,
I'm curious how many of you guys have actually, you guys should gone ahead and purchased it, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. The best time to make a decision right now is to go ahead and
yes.
purchase it, take some time, and then attack it with a full set of energy the next day and to block off time on your calendar to actually work on it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link one more time. Um, if there's any other questions in here, feel free to ask me or Mohit. Mohit's LinkedIn is here as well. So I want you all to add him on LinkedIn and overwhelm his inbox. But yes, does the course include generating leads, Mohit?
It'll show you how because everyone's leads are very different. Like I show you how to use the email tools, what enrichment looks like, how to find leads, and in general, how to just get started. And when you guys connect with me, please mention, hey, I was on the webinar and I learned X, Y, and Z. Please be specific so we can stay connected. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to get going. It's been a pleasure to spend the last hour and 5 minutes with you guys. I hope that you guys have gotten some value out of this webinar. And once again, I encourage you guys, if you guys were inspired by this, buy the course, and you guys should hopefully make, at least 10x value of what you guys are paying. So if you guys can make $800, it's a huge win, and you guys are going to 10x your investment in this. So thank you for joining us. I'm signing off. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Take
Mohit, for
care.
your time today. The course we'll follow up with. We'll also have a recording as well.
All
We
right.
have many more webinars on Albert's list as well that are coming up as we get into the new year. So feel free to join us for then, and we will see you again soon. Best of luck on your AI skills this week, and we will go ahead and end this for now. Thanks so much, and good night.